Coming up today here on the Raiders Report, more proof that Geno Smith is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. I'm Mitchell Renz. You're watching the Raiders Report, and one of the things that I really want to do this offseason is convince Raider Nation that the Silver and Black made a smart decision going out and trading for Geno Smith. And you know what? Some people are going to listen to what I have to say, but there's also a lot of other publications out there that think Geno Smith is a top 10 quarterback, one of which is PFF. And they recently just released an article titled PFF Quarterback Rankings, all 32 starters ahead of the 2025 NFL season. They had Geno Smith ranked at number 10. They also had him as a Tier 3A quarterback, which they considered a solid starter who has had flashes of high-end play. On today's show, I am going to roll through, and I'm going to tell you what PFF had to say about Geno Smith. I'm also going to be breaking down the entire quarterback list that Pro Football Focus had. But first, a word from our sponsor. Raider Nation, huge shout out to Temu for hooking up the nation with this special promotion. They are offering their second anniversary promotion campaign, and for anyone who still hasn't downloaded the Temu app, you have the opportunity to get $100 cash. All you have to do is go download the Temu app and search your code DWF3344 in the app. You will see the Win Cash promotion page. Discount only applies to app new users with the qualifying orders. This promotion is open to anyone who hasn't downloaded the Temu app. If that's you, sprint to the App Store and take advantage of this special promotion. Now, a lot of the things that you're seeing up on screen are some of the things that I've gotten for myself and, a bed for Alex and my dog Chuck. So go download the Temu app, search your code DWF3344 in the Temu app. That's code DWF3344 in the Temu app. You will see the Win Cash promotion page when you use our code. Discount only applies to app new users with qualifying orders. Huge shout out again to Temu for hooking up the nation. For anybody out there, I'm going to be able to put these links down in the comments and in the description of today's show. We will first start here with PFF's quarterback rankings and their Tier 1 guys. They have Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. In all honesty, I'm not really going to get too upset about this list, though I will admit, if I was a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'd sit here and go, well, I think that Jalen Hurts deserves to be in this, and you could even make an argument that I think Jayden Daniels deserves to be in that conversation. But Pro Football Focus, then, they have their Tier 2 quarterbacks, Hurts, Jayden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, and Justin Herbert, which obviously means the Silver and Black's Geno Smith is about to pop up here. And what I thought was interesting was this tier of quarterbacks, because I agree with what Pro Football Focus has put on display in this video, but having Geno with Jared Goff and Brock Purdy, I kind of think is a fair evaluation where I do see times where Goff is better than Geno. I've also seen times where Geno is better than Goff. I've also seen where Brock Purdy's been better than Geno and Jared Goff combined. But this Tier 3A quarterback, this is what PFF had to say on why Geno was ranked number 10. If you would have pegged Smith to grade as the 6th best passer in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, but here we are. In fact, his 85.8 passer grade in that span is just 0.2 points shy of Patrick Mahomes. After being traded for a third-round pick this offseason, Smith should enjoy an improved offensive line, but a downgrade in receiving weapons. He protects the football and has a knack for generating big-time throws. So I want to know from the entire nation out there, and I'm going to be honest with you guys as well, where would you rank Geno Smith amongst all NFL quarterbacks? Is he number 1? Is he number 32? Is he somewhere in the middle? My answer coming up after this YouTube ad break. I'm going to stick with the answer that I've continuously said this entire offseason after taking a little bit more of a deep dive into some of the Geno Smith tape. I believe Geno is the 14th best quarterback in the National Football League, but I have said this probably 10 plus times on the Raiders Report. He does have legit top 10 upside, and a video that I'm going to be breaking down tomorrow, well, maybe, is showing y'all why he's got some of that top 10 upside. Let's keep rolling here on the show on PFF's quarterback rankings. These are their Tier 3B type of players, which I was kind of surprised that he was ranked above Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, C.J. Stroud. I do think that he is better than Kyler Murray. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence. I think he's better than Dak Prescott and Tua Tagovailoa. And 7 quarterbacks were in this tier. Then let's go to tier 4 because this one was kind of characterized as young quarterback that is still unproven but has a chance to be better. I do not think that Bo Nix is at number 19. I personally think Bryce Young is better. I think Michael Penix Jr. is better. I think that they are way too low on Caleb Williams, but I understand some of the upside. For Nix, though, I do got to give him at least some credit. He did play better at the end of the season. Let's go to tier 5. Tier 5's kind of wild. Sam Darnold, who just threw for 30-something touchdowns last season, is all the way down at number 26. I wonder if they think that it was more of just a Vikings Kevin O'Connell scheme, obviously. But to put Darnold in this realm of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, quite frankly, I think it's pretty disrespectful. And what's wild is, think about how many Raiders fans wanted Sam Darnold over Geno Smith. Then you also got to think about the contracts. Geno Smith's contract, based on PFF's grades, he's got the best quarterback contract in the NFL. And I don't know if it's all that close, man. Well, besides the rookies. Let's look at the final tier here at tier 6. You got Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson, Mason Rudolph, and Tyler Shough. I don't disagree with the bottom 4 quarterbacks in terms of the starters. What will be interesting is where Aaron Rodgers essentially slots into this list, because I don't think that Rodgers is better than Geno Smith at this current time. But where exactly does Rodgers go? Because if Sam Darnold's at 26, I'd actually rather have Sam Darnold than somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Let's keep it moving, though, on today's show, because I didn't only want to break down the PFF quarterback rankings. I also wanted to be able to compare Geno to the other AFC West teams, and then I got one more little thing at the very end of today's show. So based on these rankings, Geno Smith is the 3rd best quarterback in the AFC West, which I don't disagree with at all. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is going to be number 1, and anybody that disputes that just hates the Chiefs, which, you know what, I'm always down for a good FKC. For Justin Herbert compared to Geno Smith, I do think that Herbert has more of the tools to be an elite quarterback, but if the game is on the line, I'm going to go with Geno over Herbert. And then Bo Nix getting ready to enter year 2 at number 19. I just wanted to show that because very often on this program, we get people that are like, oh, Geno's the worst quarterback in the AFC West. With all due respect, I think if you think that, you don't know ball all that well. Let's go to the final thing here on today's show that I wanted to be able to just break down, just because, the schedule got released a few weeks ago at this point, and we as Raider fans know if you don't have a good quarterback, it's hard to win football games. But I also think when you just evaluate the Raiders' schedule, and then you go back and you look at the past few seasons that we've had, if you have the better quarterback in a NFL game, in my personal opinion, you have a shot to win that football game. Do we all agree with that statement? So when you go through and you look at the Raiders' schedule, week 1 against New England, Geno was ranked number 10. Drake Maye was ranked number 22. That is the numbers that you're seeing in the parentheses. So week 2, week 3, we got a quarterback disadvantage. Week 4, we have a massive quarterback advantage. So again, I thought Caleb Williams' ranking was a little bit low. Week 5, week 6, advantage Raiders. Chiefs, obviously we're not going to get the advantage there. From week 9 all the way through week 13, Jags advantage, Broncos advantage, Cowboys advantage, Browns advantage, Chargers, not that much of an advantage, but then again, who would you rather have in a clutch situation? I'm going to take Geno Smith over Justin Herbert. And then to round it out, from week 14 to week 18, a lot of good games in here. Again, I agree with Broncos, totally fine with the Eagles. I'd actually think C.J. Stroud is a better quarterback than Geno, but I could also make an argument, of why Geno could be better this upcoming season. It's definitely a prove-it year for Stroud. Week 17, no arguments, and then again, week 18, no arguments here. I wanted to be able to go through and show that because when you look at the latest odds of what the Raiders are projected to do this season, a lot of the odds makers out there have them at 6.5 wins this upcoming season. I just went through and I showed you the PFF rankings, right? And I don't always agree with everything that PFF does, but I do like to be able to sit back here and show a different point of an opinion because I know I'm not the only one that talks about the Raiders. I know I'm not the only one that talks about the NFL. But based on those quarterback rankings by PFF, the Raiders have 11-6. 65% of the time, the Raiders have a better quarterback, according to Pro Football Focus, but yet the Raiders are only projected to win 6.5 games. All I'm saying is the Raiders are being slept on because people don't respect Geno Smith and the type of quarterback that he is. So I'm going to send out a challenge here to all my real ones out there. If you're making it this far in the video, and if you're watching the Raiders Report in May, you're already a real one in my book. Let's even put another notch on that belt. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'm going to drop a video on why I think Geno Smith could be elite in 2025, and it's going to be a video that if you're a Raiders fan, you want to prove that you're a smart Raiders fan, you're going to have to watch that video because it's going to be eye-popping how good Geno Smith actually is when you really look at the numbers. So please hit that like button, 1,000 likes, that's the challenge.